All right, welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. And as of course you know, it's Tuesday, so it's Health Tuesday segment. My name is Migwi, and today we are talking about orthopedic technology services in the country. And in studio with me is John Ondiege, who is a prosthetist and orthotist consultant. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mike.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm okay.
Yes.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
I'm glad to talk about my profession.
Yes.
I'm a consultant prosthetist orthotist, as you have said it,
Yes.
which is an advanced level of orthopedic technology. Mm-hmm. And today we are going to talk about orthopedic technology services in Kenya.
Yes. So before we went on here, you were telling me you are an expert on things that the public don't know, especially when it comes to orthopedics.
Yes.
What are these things?
As I'm talking to you now,
Yes.
I am an expert in the management of congenital talipes equinovarus. In a layman's language, that is a child born with clubfoot. So I am an expert in doing the management that is conservative, not surgical. And that is one of the areas that is very key in this country. We have already sensitized people on this management without surgery. I am an expert in spinal orthotics. Spinal orthotics is talking about things that will support that spine following different spinal conditions. We have spinal conditions like what we call kyphosis. We have spinal conditions like what we call scoliosis. And lordosis, which is hyperlordosis, very common in ladies because of the use of high-heeled shoes. And when they are expectant and they are still continuing to use high-heeled shoes, believe me, they go through a lot of pain and they don't know the remedy.
Yes.
So I am an expert in those areas that will call them and actually be able to address these situations. The only problem is that the things I am an expert in is not known. For example, I am an expert in prosthetics. When you tell somebody I'm a consultant prosthetist orthotist, he's thinking you are tongue twisting. Yet that is the name of my profession. Yes.
Speaking of prosthetics and orthotics, they are part of orthopedic services.
Yes.
Talk to us about them and how they differ.
Good. First of all, let me talk about orthopedic services in general. Orthopedic technology services in general is the science that deals with the fabrication of prosthetics, the fabrication of orthotics. Prosthetics are compensatory. Let's say, for example, a leg has been cut. So we will compensate that leg, and you will have your leg back. That is what we call a prosthesis. An orthotic service is supportive. You have a weak limb. We have people that we call that had polio, myelitis before. So we refer to them as post-polio cases. So we give them an orthotic device, which we call a brace. Now, this brace supports the weak limb, and it makes this person walk. We are only not limited to prosthetics and orthotics. We are also doing rehabilitative appliances. That includes things like wheelchairs. By the way, wheelchair is a prescribed appliance. And I'm always at war with politicians during the time, during the times of campaign, when they want to dish out wheelchairs like clothes. No, that is very wrong. A wheelchair is a prescribed appliance. It is like, I sometimes tell them, why don't you go and pick antibiotics and start distributing to give people? Because the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Board will take them to court. But they take advantage of orthopedic technology. Since we don't have a council They pick wheelchairs, they pick crutches, they pick whatever, and they dish out to people. You find a child dangling in an adult wheelchair. You are deforming this child more than helping the child. And because the parents of this child do not know, and disabilities associated with poverty, a research has been done. Most of the people that are disabled, you will find that they are not okay financially. And therefore, if somebody is being given a wheelchair, he picks it and thinks that it is a help. It can only be a help if it comes from an expert like me. Because I'm also an expert in the design and fabrication of a wheelchair. So there are so many areas. So those areas we cover, and we are forming part of the rehabilitative science family, where we are together with occupational therapists, physiotherapists. Now we have expanded it with audiologists, ENT, ophthalmology, and low vision. So we are a big team of rehabilitation. And orthopedic technology service is very key in all this.
Speaking of orthopedic services within the country, how would you rate these services so far?
I would say that we are just struggling. Why are we just struggling? Because we are not known. Our services are not known. Just like I've explained to you, I'm an expert in areas that people don't know. Even my own surgeons, some of them marvel on what we do. You know, what we do in orthopedic technology is more closer to what is written in the book of John in the Bible. People come on their buttocks and we tell them, arise and walk. And then we make a prosthesis, and therefore they are walking. So they have rose and are walking. Some have got spinal cord injury, and therefore they come on wheelchairs. We are able to support their spines at times, if it is not a very severe thing, and make them stand up with what we call CAFOs. Those are the long leg braces. So they can be able to be upright. And therefore, some of the things we are doing are actually biblical. We are the last ones that, even where the surgeons feel they are defeated, they come back to us to ask us to be able to help in certain areas. When, like now, I have a case which is very interesting, where there's this disease we call lupus disease, and the girl ended up having amputation of both the hands and both legs. So she has got 4 parts of her body not there. We have already managed to make for her the lower limb prosthesis, and she's walking. It is a surprising thing. Everybody is surprised. We get children that are born with congenital deformities. We correct them within a very short time. So our area is an area of its own, but the impediment is that we are not known. I will tell you 3 reasons why we are not known. 1, the workshop that now is not referred to as a workshop, we call it Prosthetics and Orthotics Laboratory. It's not a workshop because it is not only dealing with metallic things. We are dealing with medical fraternity as a whole. So children born with congenital problems, we manage them there. So you will not say they are being managed in the workshop. They are being managed in a prosthetics and orthotics laboratory. And therefore, at the moment, most of the things that we are doing are different with what we used to do before. And right now, the impediments that are there, we are having a very high hope that they are going to change. They are going to change in the sense that we have a donor that has come to hold our hands. Rehabilitation have always been left behind in the whole of the Ministry of Health. At the moment, we have a partner of the Ministry of Health that is referred to as CHAI. CHAI means Clinton Health Assistive Initiative. CHAI have supported us as rehabilitation to make the first ever strategic plan for rehabilitation in this country. 2022-2026, a 5-year strategic plan. These have been supported by CHAI. CHAI at the moment is supporting the bigger rehabilitation in acquiring parts and components that we will use for even fabrication of those prostheses, orthotics, eyeglasses, anything assistive technology. And this is in the process almost being realized. Part of it has been realized because the technology is changing. We are bringing in 3D printing machines. And Kenya Medical Training College is going to be a beneficiary. They are going to have 2 3D printing machines. Kenyatta National Hospital, where I work, is also going to get 2 3D printing machines. This is because technology is dynamic, and we are moving ahead.
And also the aspect of knowledge about orthopedic services. Could it be the little or lack thereof of this knowledge? Could it be because we do not have a course a degree program that revolves around prosthetics and orthotics?
True. Your statement is very correct. At the moment, again, the same organization, CHAI, is supporting us together with Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology to develop a curriculum for BSc in prosthetics and orthotics in Kenya, which is going to be the first in the many years. Orthopedic technology practice started way back in 1972. Up to now, what we have gone to is only higher national diploma, which started maybe a couple of years ago. So I'm very excited as I'm talking to you because I am a national figure in this profession. The degree holders are very few in Kenya. We are only 8. And I'm one of them. And now I'm ahead of many because I am right now the president of ISPO Kenyan chapter. ISPO means International Society for Prosthetics and Orthotics. It is a world body that works with WHO to control the practices of orthopedic technology worldwide. So right now I'm the president of ISPO Kenyan chapter, and therefore I'm very excited because CHAI have identified me and are supporting my wishful thinking. Together, because of the production or the expenses of these parts, Kenya have already been identified and is going to have through the Ministry of Health. Even this support that CHAI is giving is through the Ministry of Health. They are going to support a center of excellence in JKUAT. This center of excellence, the government have already been given 10 acres of land by JKUAT to develop the center of excellence. Key partners in this center of excellence is the Ministry of Health itself, herself. We have a company, a worldwide company called Orthopedic. Orthopedic is the company that sells for us parts and components for making some of these rehabilitative appliances, including the orthopedic bed, including the theater beds, and all this. Now, that Orthopedic is part of this company. We have another company that is called Motivation Charitable Trust. It is a US-based company. We have their branch here in Kenya. They are also supporting that center of excellence. My thinking and my dream is that the center of excellence is going to be where we are going to have the prosthetics and orthotics laboratory. JKUAT has got very senior engineers. So biochemistry, we are just going to use a whole branch of the engineers to help us in biochemistry.
Speaking of prosthetics, you're talking about an area that if I lose a limb, for instance, I lose my right hand, I can get a prosthetic that is functional, that I will be having no more hand operations with my hand?
Yes. It depends on the level of amputation. Like, for example, if you are just cut above the wrist, medically we call it transradial amputation. If you have a transradial amputation, I'll make for you a super limb, a super prosthesis that you will write with. You will do with almost all the things because we are using sensor to feel the need of the muscles and the direction it is going to take.
Yes.
That much we can be able to do here in Kenya. We have got so many techniques that are being used worldwide. In the advanced countries, they even take you to theater and insert the pins with the nerves so that the sensation of the nerve will help you do the function. So, ordinarily in Kenya, yes, we can make for you a functional hand here in Kenyatta National Hospital. You don't need to go anywhere.
But that knowledge is not really out there in the best way that Kenyans need to know about it, which also speaks to the accessibility of these services.
Yes.
How accessible are they?
Now, again, I'll go back to the organization that I've told you. You might think I'm praising CHAI so much, but CHAI is going to make these things accessible to ordinary Kenyans. The prices right now are way far above the ordinary Kenyan to access. What we do in Kenya, which is wrong, it's not right, is that unless, unless it is emergency surgery because of an accident or something like that, it is understandable. But even elective surgery, where we are going to do amputation, we as orthopedic technologists are not involved in making the decision before surgery. The ideal situation is that we must be there pre-operative and post-operative. So that at least people can know and put the expense together with the whole hospital expense. What happens in Kenya, it is not done. In Kenya, what they do is the surgeon will amputate you, even if it is a leg, and leaves you there disabled. It is now my responsibility to come and rehabilitate you so that you go back to your normal function. And then the expense of rehabilitation becomes much because you did a fundraising to be amputated. Now here you need a prosthesis. The reality is that you also need another fundraising to get this prosthesis.
So there needs to be synergy of some sort between prosthetists and surgeons.
Exactly. That is how it works. Even in our neighboring country here, Tanzania, they are ahead of us. When the surgeons are going to do what we call elective surgery, they will look for these people. They will assemble them. They will discuss with the patient together before the patient goes into theater, and the cost is put together. So when you are looking for $500,000, everything is taken, including rehabilitative services. But here in our country, you might look for $500,000 for only the surgery. And then the rest of it, you have to go back to the people again. We also don't have the cover for these things by insurance. Now I'm pushing it to be part of what should be accepted, especially in this new insurance that is going to come from next month called SHIF from NHIF. So we are going to have SHIF instead of NHIF. And we are pushing so that appliances should be covered. At the moment, everybody is trained. So when it comes to accessing the prosthesis, it is not accessible.
Yeah. If a person is in need of prosthetic or orthotics, what are some of the things that they need to consider first? When a person is in need of a prosthetic device, let's talk of that first. It is me as the professional that will talk to my patient to know the needs of this patient. A youthful patient who was, say, for example, an athlete, I am capable of making a prosthesis that this person can still run. Normally.
An old patient, there's what we call the levels. We determine the patient with what we call K level. K level means the functional level of a patient.
Yes.
And we have from K level 1 to K level 4. K level 4 is a very active patient, like an athlete and a young person. K level 1 is that patient that has suffered something like diabetes mellitus that has drained the power of this patient. Sometimes even vision is compromised. And therefore, we need to make a prosthesis that will fit this particular person. As a professional, it is at my disgrace to decide what to give my patient. First of all, looking at the expenses. Second, looking at the time I expect this patient to use this, what we call life expectancy. The time I expect this patient to use this prosthesis. I will not make for you a prosthesis, or I will not make for a prosthesis for a 70-year-old person, a prosthesis that I can make for a 28-year-old person. So it all depends on the professional discretion. Yeah.
What do you see as the future of orthopedic technology services in the country?
Orthopedic technology have a very bright future. That I can tell you without fear of contradiction. The reason why I'm saying that is because of the involvement of this 80 scale 2030 and CHAI and the Ministry of Health. I am sitting in several committees that is making sure that we will be recognized in a very near future. I am also sitting in that committee that is developing the BSc program in prosthetics and orthotics with the JKUAT. And therefore, for me as a person, I'm very happy and a very proud man that orthopedic technology services is going to have a different face in a very near future because there will be higher education in that area. Then we will access the right materials for prosthetics and orthotics. Then we will access the skills from already trained personnel, and we will have different short courses where we will take them to upgrade their skills. Yeah.
So meaning if we have that expertise within the country, it will also impact on how people access these services and also the cost?
Yes, it is going to impact because that area is going to work in partnership with the Center of Excellence that is going to be created in JKUAT that is going to produce quite a good number of these parts that we import right now from Germany, from elsewhere, you know, India, wherever. And the durability of these things depends on the experts to look at the right quality of materials. Yes. And orthopedic technology do a subject that is called material technology. That is not exploited to the end because material technology will also justify the type of orthopedic implants, say, for example, artificial hip, when a surgeon is going to do a total hip replacement. A good surgeon will look for me so that we look at the materials and the acceptability of this material to the human body where it is going to be put. We make them out of titanium. Sometimes some of them are gold coated. Some of them are made of duraluminium. Yes. But we don't get to that extent. Yes. We just give what is given. Yes. And you know, there is an English say that says that a poor man has no choice. So when you are sick, yes, we give you what is available because you might not even be able to buy that one that is right for you. So that's how it happens. But accessibility is going to be better in a very near future because the companies have told you we'll even work on issues of those implants and the right ones to be used in Kenya. We are going to upgrade our technology to 3D printing. Yes. So some of these things we are going to make them 3D printed. Already, CHAI, together with the Ministry of Health, is in the process of acquiring 2 3D printing machines for Kenyatta National Hospital, where I work, and 2 3D printing machines for Kenya Medical Training College. This is because the students who are doing higher national diploma in prosthetics there are supposed to upscale their skills and come to Kenyatta for what we call clinical placement, where we are going to work now with the patients, and we are going to use 3D printing.
Yes.
So the future of orthopedic technology in this country is getting brighter and brighter.
Meaning also the prosthetics that are made here will be customized according to the needs of the patients.
It is what has always been happening, but now it is going, the standard is going to be higher than what it used to be before.
Yes.
Yes.
Your parting shot.
Thank you. My parting shot in this is that first of all, I want to tell the general public that orthopedic technology services are existing. And right now we are scaling down to all the counties, the 47 counties. We are actually thinking of them, especially with this budget that CHAI is going to give us through, 80 scale is going to give us through CHAI and the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
So we are thinking of them wherever they are. We are also thinking of the personnel. The problem has been the personnel. The orthopedic technologists are very few in the country, and the counties are also not employing them. So it is my plea to the Council of Governors to put these people in position. Because I am in that committee, the national committee that is making decision on areas to support.
Yes.
I want to tell the governors, if they are listening to this, that we will only be able to support an area where they have an orthopedic technologist. If they don't have, we will not support them. So they will continue suffering. And to my colleagues, orthopedic technologists, put your ears alert. The advertisement are going to be in air anytime. Starting from September, we are giving people short courses to upgrade their skills.
Thank you.
We have got so many short courses. About 10 curriculums have been made that we are going to upscale their skills.
Asante sana.
In rehabilitation.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time for Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, the whole KBC family. I wish you help me to make sure people knows that services are available. Thank you.
That is John Ondiege speaking to us about orthopedic technology services in Kenya. Don't go too far. Good Morning Kenya continues shortly. Stay with us.